I remember a reggae version of
Yeah,
that.
that was UB40.
That they did the reggae version. Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was an old reggae song.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It was Neil Diamond. Wow.
Neil Diamond.
And
Who
I didn't
knew?
realise that the chord sequence is the old "Hang On Sloopy" and "Twist and Shout" sequence. The
Guantanamera, for that matter.
Guantanamera. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Guantanamera was probably the original.
Good make that's these guys.
Well done, guys.
Kind of song to get ska traction is that kind of song. That's perfect for those guys.
We should have had the rap in the middle. Red, red wine, you make me feel so fine. You got me grooving all of the time. Red, red.
Oh dear. I think we're back to Alan.
Yeah. This song circle is somewhat tight. It comes around quick.
Yes.
All right. Okay. In keeping with anniversaries, Joni Mitchell, 50 years ago, released her seminal album, Blue. And I had to listen to Blue because it's been a while. And I realized most of the stuff she does is beyond my capabilities and her vocal range beyond my capabilities. So I looked for the easiest one I could find, and I'm still not there. But I'm going to attempt Carrie tonight, which is from that album 50 years ago, and love it. It's about her stay in Greece and meeting up with a red haired fellow, possibly Scottish. That would tie in nicely with my previous song. And I think his real name wasn't Carrie, but it turns out that he was a bit of a cantankerous person, and she has this relationship with him. But I really love the lyrics. So we're going to attempt Carrie. Wind is in from Africa. Last night I couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah, I know it sure is hard to leave here, Carrie, but it's really not my home. My fingernails are filthy. I got beach tar on my feet. And I miss my clean white linen and my fancy French cologne. Oh, Carrie, get out you can, and I'll put on some silver for your mean old daddy. I like you. Come on down to the Mermaid Cafe and I'll buy you a bottle of wine. And we'll laugh and toast to nothing and smash our empty glasses down. Let's have a round for these freaks and the soldiers, a round for these friends of mine. Let's have another round for the bright red devil who keeps me in this tourist town. Oh, come on, get out you can. I'll put on some silver. And you know, Daddy, but I like you. I like you. I like you. I like you. Maybe I'll go to Amsterdam, or maybe I'll go to Rome and rent me a grand piano and put some flowers round my room. But let's not talk about fairy wells now. The night is a starry dome, and they're playing that scratchy rock and roll beneath the Matalama moon. Come on, Carrie, get out your cane, and I'll put on some silver. You know, Daddy, but I like you. Oh, the wind is in from Africa. Thank you.
You know what I really like about that song is that the chords are so easy. I had
It's
no
so easy,
idea.
vocally what she's doing is all over the map. I sat and listened to it about 9 or 10 times and going, I can't do what she's doing, so I'm just going to have to call it my arrangement.
Well, yeah, but at least I love your arrangement on the guitar because it's easy to read.
Yeah, it is. It's 3 chords, but yeah, her voice is absolutely ethereal. It's just amazing what she does. And the whole album, when I sat down and had a serious listen to it, which I haven't done for years, uh, tunings on her guitar. She plays it primarily, the album is primarily piano, guitar, or dulcimer.
She has a
And
lot of strange tunings as well, doesn't she?
yeah, she
Yes.
goes for some crazy, weird tunings. And she must have been, what, late 20s? She's what? I
Oh,
looked her up. She's 77 now, so she must have been about 27 when she did that album.
Well, she
Far
didn't
too
like other
talented for
people.
that one.
She didn't like other people playing her stuff, so she has to use these weird tunings.
so when did
So
that album come out?
Pardon me?
When did that album come out?
50 years ago to the day, apparently.
Okay, so okay, 50 years ago today, so 71.
Yeah.
Wow.
wow. Well, it's back to me again, and I'm going to have to do something old and country because that's about all I know from that era. In fact, that's all I know about anything is from that era. But here we go. I think the flip side of trombone for those of you who are Chet Atkins fans was Windy and Warm, written by John D. Laudermilk. And Laudermilk tells a story about when he wrote this thing. He wrote it specifically for Chet Atkins, and he said he showed it to Chet, and by the time he got halfway through it, Atkins had finished it because the style is very it's sort of very obvious. So that's why everybody should learn to play A minor and F. There's hardly any other chords in the thing. Graham, it's back to you.
Well, once again inspired by Alan, and thinking back 50 years and thinking of Joni Mitchell. Here's a Joni Mitchell song from 51 years ago, when she was hanging about with a bloke called Graham Nash. Graham Nash had just moved to North America, and he'd attended, and he was with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, I think. And they went to this big festival in upstate New York in 1969 called Woodstock. I nearly went to Woodstock. I was actually in Vermont at the time, working at a summer camp as a green 19-year-old. And we decided to go to Montreal for the weekend instead of Woodstock. Damn, what a mistake. Here you go. This is the English version. I came upon the child of God. He was walking along the road. When I asked him, where you going? This he told me, I'm going down to Yasker's farm. Think I'll join a rock and roll band. I'll camp out on the land. I'll try to set my soul free. We are stardust, we are golden. We've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Can I walk beside you? I've come here to lose the smog, and I feel just like a cog in something turning. Well, maybe it's the time of year, or maybe it's the time of man, and I don't know who I am, and life's a learning. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time I got to Woodstock, they were 500,000 strong, and everywhere there were songs and celebration. And I dreamed I saw godmothers riding shotgun in the sky, turning into butterflies above our nation. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, there was a story associated with that, wasn't there? Joni Mitchell never actually made it to Woodstock. I think,
No, she didn't. I don't think she did.
no, she was slated to perform but couldn't get in because the roads were clogged or some such thing. And They were thinking of flying her in by helicopter. I may be making this part up. I don't know. But she wrote that song because she realized this was part of this important event in her generation, but she missed out completely.
Yeah. Well, I was, as I said, I was working at a summer camp in Vermont, and we had the weekend off, all of us campers, all of the camp counselors, and a bunch of us there, a bunch of Americans, a bunch of Canadians, a bunch of Brits, and somebody said, where should we go for the weekend? Well, there's the World's Fair in Montreal that was in '67. We can go and explore the World's Fair, or we can. There's a music festival on just over the state line in New York. And that's what we said. Anybody know anything about it? No, no. Oh, let's go to Montreal.
Oh, you win some, you lose some.
There's a funny story about going to Montreal actually, because I'd never been to Canada at that time. So there was I with my British passport and no money, trying to get into Canada, right? And they wouldn't let me in because I hadn't got any money, and not enough money anyway.
Serves you right. Yeah.
They said, no, you can't come in. I said, what do you mean I can't come in? This is a bloody crown colony. Of course I can bloody come in. Of course that really helped my case.
Yeah. You should have told them that you were working at the fair or something. You know.
In the end, they did let me in because the others vouched for me, right? The others said they would lend me money. I'm only going up for the weekend, right? So they let me in, but the rule was that we had to leave within 24 hours. We were only allowed in for 24 hours. Well, this was in 1969. We crossed the border. We were driving into Montreal, and we said, well, how are they going to know where we are? You know, there was no computers in those days, right?
Oh,
We just forgot about it and stayed for the full weekend and went back. Anyway, there you go. An interesting story.
Fair enough.
I noticed that we've been joined by Karen's phone, and I saw Karen on Pacific Bluegrass the other night at a jam. So I'll just say to Karen, "Hi, Karen," and if you unmute yourself and you wish to join in the circle and play something, just unmute yourself and we'll recognize you. And if you don't want to be bothered because you just want to listen tonight, that's cool too. So I'll just keep an eye on and see whether you come unmuted or not, and we'll go on with the rotation the way we have it right now, which comes to Mike and Garth are up next. Oh, here's Karen.
I don't think I want to perform tonight.
Okay. Well, in that case, just have a listen, and maybe we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another bright, another June, another sunny honeymoon, another reason, another season for making whoopee. A lot of shoes, a lot of rice. The groom is nervous, he answers twice. Ain't it chillin'? The bar's so willing to make a whoopee. Picture a little loveliness down in the roses climb. Picture that same sweet loveliness. See what a year can bring. He's washing dishes, baby clothes. He's so ambitious, he's so. But don't forget, folks, that's what you get, folks, for making whoopee. Another year, or maybe less. Was this a hero? Oh, can't you guess? She feels neglected, and he's suspected of making whoopee. She sits alone most every night. He don't come home, he don't even write. He says he's busy, but she says, is he making whoopee? He don't make much money,
Well done.
Thing of beauty.
Nothing notices Cosby Stills.
And you guys are going to do another one, remember, because there's two of you.
Hey, Mom. Cable two. Oh, sorry. I do. Small equipment failure here. Hey, Mama, it's me. Said you better wait, child. Said you've been a long time running. Hey, Mama, answer me. Baby boy, you better sit down and listen when the sun's out. Now, won't let sadness be so hard to get. Hey, Mama, what do you mean? I know you've been knocked down. I know it ain't all been easy. Nothing really good ever is. Why you gotta wait so long? Why you gotta wait so long? You ain't gone far enough to say, at least I tried. You ain't worked hard enough to say, well, I got mine. You ain't gone far enough to say, my legs have failed. You ain't gone far enough. You ain't worked hard enough. You ain't run far enough to say, it ain't gonna get any better. You picked a bad time. You picked a bad time to listen to me. You picked a bad time. You picked a bad time to listen to me. You picked a bad time. You picked a bad time to listen to me. You ain't gone far enough to say, at least I tried. You ain't worked hard enough to say, well, I got mine. You ain't run far enough to say, my legs have failed. You ain't gone far enough. You ain't worked hard enough. You ain't run far enough to say, it ain't gonna get any better.
Beautiful.
Another good song. Well, it's back to Alan.
Okay, you folks are really forcing my hand here.
Well, we know about your small repertoire, and we think we can go through it twice.
Well, okay. No, I've got. When you put me up my back against the wall, that's when I bring out the secret weapon.
Oh my God, it's the banjo.
It's the
I knew it.
banjo.
I knew it.
Yeah. Now, thing about the banjo is that a lot of banjo tunes move along so quickly that the only way you can actually master them is for your fingers to know what they're doing. the rest of the body just shuts off. So if you think about it, you're done. If you let your fingers do the work, then hopefully it'll all work out. So we'll see how this goes. This is, I don't know who actually wrote it, but I think it's attributed to Earl Scruggs. And it's the theme song to one of those American sitcoms out of the 90s called the Beverly Hillbillies.
Okay.
Now, beauty of the Beverly Hillbillies is that it came about at a time when you could float ideas about sitcoms like, hey, I've got a great idea for a Nazi prisoner of war camp called Hogan's Heroes. You couldn't let that fly nowadays. There's no way. So this song, when you think about it, you know, it's not inclusive. It doesn't fit in the political correct zone, but it's about, you know,
Not in a two-channel universe, you know.
about hillbillies that hit it rich and head to Beverly Hills, therefore the Beverly Hillbillies. So we're going to do our best. Okay, come on. No, hang on. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. Then one day he was shooting for some food. Up from the ground came a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. First thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. Kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said California is the place you ought to be. So loaded up his truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. Oh, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Beverly Hillbillies, that's what I call them now. Nice folks, y'all. Come back, you hear? There you go.
90s, that's more like the 60s.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was an oldie.
Big fan of that show when I was a child. Big fan of that show.
It was before my time.
I don't think there was an English version or a rip-off of that.
No, but it played in England. It wasn't on England. It was
Oh
very
yeah.
Yeah,
There you
you're watching Doctor Who or something.
go. Fair enough.
Well, God, I hate to follow Alan. You know, and so I seem to have got myself into it again. And I have control of the agenda too. I could have put him somewhere else, but anyway, I'm going to go back to the '60s and the Vietnam War and do a Stu Girl thing. Well, my name's John Lee Pettimore, same as my daddy and his daddy before. Hardly ever saw Granddaddy down here. He only come to town about twice a year. You buy 100 pounds of yeast and some copper line, and everybody knew that we made moonshine. Now the Riveteer man wanted Granddaddy bad, headed up the hollow with everything he had. For my time, but I've been told he never come back from Copperhead Row. Now Granny ran the whiskey in a big black Dodge, bought it at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff painted on the side. Just shot a coat of primer, then he looked inside. Well, him and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. Now the sheriff come around in the middle of the night, heard mama crying like something ain't right. He's headed down to Knoxville with a weekly load. You can smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Row. I volunteered for the army on my birthday. They draft the white trash first round here anyway. I done 2 terms of duty in Vietnam, and I come home with a brand new plan. I take seeds from Colombia and Mexico, plant them in the hollow down Copperhead Row. Now the DEA's got a chopper in the air, wake up screaming like I'm back over there. I learned a thing or two from Charlie, don't you know? Better stay away from Copperhead Row. Copperhead Row. Copperhead Row. Steve
Love that
Earle.
song. That's nice.
Well, I'm going to stick with the 60s theme. Indeed, if I'd made it to the Woodstock Festival in 1969, I would have heard this song. Oh, I need the kazoo again. Here we go. Here we go. Well, come on. Ooh. Well, come on, all of you big strong men. Uncle Sam needs your help again. He's got himself in a terrible jam way down yonder in Vietnam. So down your books and pick up a gun. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. There ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Well, come on, Wall Street, don't be slow. Why, man, these boys, oh, go. There's plenty of good money to be made. Supplying the army with the tools of the trade. Just hope and pray that they drop the bomb. They drop it on the Viet Cong. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. There ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Well, come on, generals, let's move fast. Your big chances come at last. Gotta go and get those Reds. The only good commie is one that's dead. You know the peace can only be won when we blood will the kingdom come. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. There ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Well, come on, mothers throughout the land. Pack your boys off to Vietnam. Come on, fathers, don't hesitate. Send your son off before it's too late. And you could be the first one on your block to have your boy come home in a box. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, don't ask me to wonder why. We're all gonna die. Country Joe and the Fish.
Yes.
Yes, I recognize that. I love that song. That was one of their better imports from the U.S. in my day. We're back to Garth and Mike.
Okay.
I think we're muted.
Somehow I found someone carried me home. No one was ever noticed sleeping on the floor, but I know we were there. Some were playing in around, some were dipping so low. It never seemed to matter. The night slipped away 'cause there was soul in the air. We were howling at the moon. We were shaking our hair. We danced until we flat out. Got into bed, but I won't let you go. Let me in or let me down. Let me lay here so slow. Baby, come on home and you know you got to know you need to know. Step it in or step it out. Got it all around. Kept on every night and day, but didn't even see. But I know that we were howling at the moon. We were shaking our heads. Well, I'm dancing till we got out and back to the bed, but I won't let you go. We were howling at the moon. We were shaking our heads. Oh, we danced till we got out and back to the bed, but I won't let you go. We were howling at the moon. We were shaking our heads. Oh, we danced till we got out and back to the bed, but I won't let you go.
Well done, Garth.
No idea who did that song. Where'd that come from?
That's Nathaniel Reitland. This was an old Emmylou Harris song. Oh, the stars, they did shine the night you swore that you'd be mine, and you promised always to be true and to be kind. On that Shenandoah Hill,
those. We're back to the old time stuff again. Alan, what do you got for us?
Okay, so I think it's high time I played a little S and G. Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay.
Not G and S, that's Gilbert and Sullivan, but yeah, now this is one of my first tunes I ever learned, and I realized that Art Garfunkel and Simon had a much higher voice than I did. Maybe it worked when I was 10, but now it's a little harder to sing, but we'll try it anyways. I do it in the key of C. I'm sitting at the railway station, got a ticket for my destination. Oh, on a tour of one-night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand. Every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, my thoughts are sleeping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. And each town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories. Every stranger's face I see reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. I wish I was homeward bound. Home, my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Tonight I'll play my songs again. I'll play the game and pretend that all my words come back to me in shades of mediocrity, like emptiness and harmony. I need someone to comfort me. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts are sleeping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me.
Great job.
Thank you.
I'm going to bother you about the chords you're using in that.
Yeah.
Just when there's
Well-
there's one that's unusual.
Okay, that would be like a G minor seventh. It goes da 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 to an E minor, and then it goes to this,
Yeah. Okay.
which I think is like a G minor seventh. It works best this way. I think you can also do it like this, barring
Okay.
the top three strings on the third fret with a D. But I like to do it because it goes well with the A7 that comes after. D
Right.
minor, B flat, C, and G, C.
Thank you, sir. Well, I can review the video on that, and I'll have it forever.
And you can see my fingers this time.
And I can see your fingers. What
Sounds really
more
good.
could I want? Okay. God, what am I going to do now? I think this is going to be my last song of the night, and so I'm going to do something that's probably going to work. At least I hope it works. I am a man of constant sorrow, and I've seen trouble all my days.